You ready to rumble?
I'm ready. Got a fluff. I'm ready.
Do my shoulder.
Get it. Get it. Get it.
Oh gosh, yeah, it's been a rough day here too. Lord have mercy. But you know what? That's one of the reasons why I appreciate you. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate myself for doing this because it's been a long day. There's other places we'd like to be sometimes. There's other things we need to do. I have my family downstairs, and today's gonna be movie night for us, so we're gonna be chill. But at the same time, you sharing your time to help all these other estheticians and gals in the beauty industry, to me, it's worth the sacrifice of our time.
I love it. Well, I've got a house full of teenagers in the kitchen, so I'm hoping that
I hope you got enough food to keep them busy. Yeah,
I got 5 kids. For a minute.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yep.
Ooh, good for you. So here, in the beginning, I know you have your fingers in a lot of sugar pots. One thing I really, because I was looking up a lot of your stuff, I love your work, right? I love everything from your sugar tribe to SugarMama, right? To being a sugar pro, to you've almost like cornered the sugar market, and you're not even CNH, right?
Right.
So very cool that. So tell me a little bit about your business in terms of how you got started with it briefly, and then let's get a little bit of your past of how you became and started these businesses, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. So I've been an esthetician for I've been in the skincare industry. I started at Canyon Ranch in the retail side and selling skincare and learning about skincare, and I decided to get my aesthetic license. I believe it was 19 years ago. And I did facials, waxing, all the typical stuff. I worked at the fancy Venetian Hotel in Las Vegas at the Canyon Ranch, and that was an amazing experience. I opened in 2004. I opened Shannon's Lake Tahoe Day Spa. I moved up to Tahoe and opened that up in a tiny little space. And we really worked on customer service and being 5-star, even though we were a little 1,200 square foot space. We had 5 little treatment rooms and a eucalyptus steam room, and we beat out it was at the time it was the Caesars spa, and then it became Montbleu. We beat out all of those state line spas 8 years in a row and won best day spa.
Wow.
Because it was about the customer experience, right? It was about the love. It was about loving on the locals. It was about just really having people feel like they were coming over to our house, and they were being loved on, and we remembered their names, and we really did well. And it was really, really just what I was in the corporate world before. I had an Oprah aha moment. It was like, I really want to do skincare. And, that's how this all began. And then life happened, and I had 2 little boys, and I split up with their dad. It's a good story because we're actually really good friends, and he's super supportive, and we get along great.
Very cool.
But we were done with our marriage, and so I moved down to the Folsom area, which is just outside of Sacramento for your audience. And I didn't know a soul. I moved down because I have pretty bright kids, and I wanted to make sure that they had a better school situation. So I moved down to Folsom. I know no one, and I just realized that I need to figure something out. So I started just a little baby solo practice and had to reinvent myself. And I was at a happy hour actually, and meeting these new friends. And this one girl said, "Oh, I'm going to get sugared tomorrow." And I was like, "What's that?" I didn't know what that was. And she explained it to me, and I was a little bit embarrassed because I was an esthetician and I didn't even know what it was. And so this was about 12 years ago. And so one thing you don't know, Wick, is I have a big, bold personality, but I'm a wuss. I am such a chicken when it comes to any sort of pain on me. I was like, Brazilian, I don't know about that. Like, no, eyebrows even freak me out. But anyway, I just thought new life, we'll try it out. So I went and tried it out, and had just like a basic bikini sugared, and couldn't believe that it was just less pain. And wasn't hot. I didn't feel like it was going to burn me. And I actually left the service saying, oh my God, I need to learn how to do this. Cause if this wussy girl can handle sugaring treatment, cause I cannot do wax. It's just way too much for me.
I just had my wife wax my back. God, when was this? Like 3 weeks ago. Right. And I just cried. I had a couple
I got you, Wick.
shots of vodka. Yeah. Believe me.
You come up. I'll come up.
I saw your video that you did on how it's less painful and this and this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang, why am I going through this pain for no reason if there's other options?
Right. Yeah. So I quickly, like, there wasn't a lot of training in my area. The gal that sugared me was actually a trainer for one of the companies. So I begged her and she made me put together a class, paid $1,000 to go to this class. And I learned how to do it. And I was the worst student in the whole class. I swear I could not get the sugar off someone's leg. Like, I sucked. I was so bad.
That's a lot of money. $1,000 for the class
for a
at that
single
time.
Mom. Yeah.
How did you do that? What did it feel like parting with that money at that time, trying something new, right?
Oh, my friend, it was terrifying. Here I was in a town where I didn't really know anyone. I had two small mouths to feed.
And did you have any other source of income? Meaning, did you have another job or was
this was it. I moved down to Folsom and I had to make things work. The craziest part about this story was I had just learned how to sugar, and it was about 2009 at this point, and I was kind of practicing with it and doing facials. I rented a little room in downtown Folsom, and life just fell apart. My dog died. The recession hit, and the recession was crazy. I mean, people were pulling facials out of their budgets left and right. My dad died. He was my hero and the guy who got me through everything in life, and he died. So I was part of that. And it just, like, my whole world was just really, really hard.
And this was all in 1 year? Or?
All in 1 year. Yeah. All in 1 year. And, and I'm looking at these little babies. Well, they were like 3 or 4 and 6 or 7, I would say. I forget how old they were. And I remember looking at them, and they, like, wanted a Nintendo for Christmas, and $150 each for one of those was like I didn't even know how I did it, to be honest. And what I quickly come to realize is that with sugar, or actually with hair removal services, that people weren't taking those out of the budget. They were, the husband was saying, honey, I love you, but you really don't need a monthly facial. But if you could make sure that, those parts are smooth, that's important to the budget, Yeah. So, women felt like, okay, they wanted to support me because I was meeting a lot of people. I was out on the little t-ball field, and, oh, what do you do? Oh, I do facials. I do skincare. Please, I'd love it if you came in. And so they would come in and say, well, I can get my brows done. Like, that's a $20 thing. At least I can support you in that way. I can't do a $100 facial, but I can do $20 brows and feel pretty.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So I took it. I took every $20 brow I could get my hands on. And then, oh, you want to add a lip with that? Hey, I could do your underarms. Well, I started to get a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better with sugar. And it just was like divine timing, because people wanted hair removal. I was getting better at something that they'd never had before, because they didn't want to thread and they didn't want to wax. And so I really just realized that if I got really, really good at this, they were coming back every 4 weeks.
Right.
So I could maybe sell them a sunscreen, or I could maybe get them to, try doing their underarms, or, hey, why don't you try this? Like, we'll do your brows next time. You want to try your bikini? And it just built. And every 4 weeks they were coming back, and they were coming back. And then they were telling their friends, and I was getting better at it. And it just snowballed to this place where I was able to support my children. And I remember I was a single mom, so I could only work until about 2:30 because I had to clean up really fast to go pick the kids up from school. Mm-hmm. So this wasn't, I wasn't able to work in through the evenings and the nights. It was just me with the kids. So it's kind of fun. I actually, my clients named me the Sugar Mama.
Ah.
So I was a single mama and I was sugaring, and they just thought it was the most creative thing ever to start calling me the sugar mama. And they
It
started
is a
calling,
cute name. I will
right?
say that it's
Yeah.
memorable. It's cute, and
And,
it's like
and,
it just works.
yep. And one of my clients said everybody needs a sugar mama in their speed dial, and it stuck. And that was just the coolest thing. And yeah, so I just got better at it and better at it. And I do have a big, bold personality. And I actually was a credentialed elementary school teacher out of college. So I have that teacher brain to understand how to explain things to folks. So just kept going and kept going, and I was building my business. And all the sugar jokes come up. Let's call you the Sugar Shack. Pour some sugar on me. Like all the sugar stuff, right? So I become the Sugar Mama and Sugar Mamas, and I just got better and better. And there was a company that hired me on to teach part-time for them.
Mm-hmm.
And
to teach sugaring?
To teach sugaring to just, folks part-time. And so I would teach one or two people tableside. And I just realized there were so many people. Like I would go to a conference and people would say, gosh, will you teach me? I live in Fresno, or I live in San Jose. Well, I had two small kids. I couldn't leave them, So because I'm an entrepreneur and a creator of solutions, this was about 7 years ago. I woke up on New Year's Day, and my big thought was, I've got to teach this to the masses. This was really before courses were a big thing. And I thought to myself, I really have got to teach more than just close my shop down and teach one or two people how to do this. I really want to reach more people. So at the time, I grabbed all the WordPress and plugins and all the stuff that I could find, and I created my first online course to teach other people how to do what we do.
So you created it yourself, or did you have somebody else do it, or how did that work?
No, it was me. I created the curriculum because I have the teaching background. So I understand that you can't just say, oh, here's sugar, do it, right? You're my dog back there. He's a giant beast. So you can't just say, oh, here's sugar, just do it, right? There's the theory and the understanding of why you hold your hand the way you do, and why you apply it the way you do, and why it's made the way it's made, instead of just take it out of the jar and do it. Here you go. So there really is a methodology in how you create a curriculum.
Right.
And so I worked really hard on putting together the course. And then I actually, at the very first course I ever did, I shot with my iPhone. And I had a lav mic that was 40 feet long, and I clipped it on, and I would run over and I'd push play, and then I'd run back over and I'd do my thing, and I run back over, and then I taught myself how to video edit. And at the beginning, there was no, this was MySpace, Periscope days, right? And so there was no videography, easy app to be able to, iMovie must have been a thing. Maybe I didn't have a Mac. I just had this laptop, and I just created my first course. And the idea was, I wanted people to have access to this because I believed in it so much. I wanted people to really have access to this really cool thing that actually helped me survive. So fast forward to today, 2020, craziest year of anyone's life. And last year we started with iSugar University, and we've actually upgraded the courses. So it's no longer from my phone. I actually hired videographers, and I took that curriculum and, we beefed it up. So it's all in HD with double angles. It's really cool. And that's iSugar University. And we certify estheticians and cosmetologists on how to sugar. So
fantastic.
We teach the theory. Yeah, we really get them prepared to teach the basics so they can get certified. Because in the beauty world, you really should be certified in how to sugar, because the sugar supply companies actually require certification, because it really isn't just slap it on, rip it off. It really does take some technique and some understanding. So iSugar University was a hit. We were the only online school for anywhere. And that was wildly cool. And so I traveled to trade shows and spoke and just loved it, loved the students. And it was just great. And then our students were like, Shan, we need more of you. We want to know how to do Brazilians. We want to know how to do advanced stuff. How do you do pregnant lady bellies? How do you do guys, hairlines on beards, and can you do bald guys? Like, how do you do this? And so we started Love to Sugar, which is kind of the umbrella company now where iSugar University lives. Mm-hmm. And then I met all kinds of cool people along the way. So I started the Sugar Show podcast so that people can meet other people that can benefit their sugar business. And that has been so fun. I love doing that. And then I realized that there was a lot of people that were coming into our group and asking me and messaging each other saying, hey, I know someone in I'm moving to Petaluma. Do you know anyone there? Right. Hey, I'm moving to Austin. Shan, do you know anybody there? And the problem was there was no network that said that it's one thing to Google sugaring Petaluma, right? But you don't know if they're certified, if they have, good credentials, what paste they're using. You don't know what company they use. So I created the Sugar Network to kind of house all of the training that our industry offers. So the estheticians that are on there that are sugar professionals, they can actually, there's like announcements about the latest hands-on training. There's online training that they have access to. They can interact with each other. But what's really even more important is in 2021, we're actually going to be starting to spread this word to the public so they can utilize this search engine so that they can say, oh, I'm, moving to Boston, who's there? And they can pull up Boston and it'll show the 7 people that are there, but go, oh, this girl uses the same product that my girl uses, or this girl's an educator. I'm going to try her out. Or wow, I really like what this girl has to say, or she's got a lot of nice photos. But the key is that they're all licensed and certified sugaring professionals and estheticians and cosmetologists. Wow. It's literally a legit, like, this is the certified group of us. So we're building that now, which is wildly cool. And then the public soon. So like, say, for example, your wife, if she was looking for someone, she could just go to the Sugar Network and find, 10 people in your area and go, oh, I kind of like this one. Or I didn't know this spa offered sugar, So it's really just a way to bring the sugar industry together. And because we're a small but mighty niche, and just get the word out the right way, no matter what company they're with, no matter who they certified with, that they can, kind of work together to support each other. Because in 2021, Wick, we are going to be sweet and strong. That is the motto.
Sweet.
Sweet and strong.
You know what was really cute? I was looking at, I think, your website or one of your many pages, and you're in Suite C, right?
Yes, it's sweet.
Sweet.
Yes, it is sweet. Yes, my friend.
I saw that and I was like, oh, this girl.
I know all of the sweet
things. With her message.
All of the sweet things. I know.
So here, Shannon, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Running a business in the earlier times. So now, you've reached a different level. You've been able to incorporate and expand your brand, your skill, you're educating, you're a frontier in doing a lot of this, whether it be the video education and these programs and classes. But running a business, especially in the beginning, it's a lot of hard work. It's hard. It's stressful. You give up so much, especially, as a single mom, right? So why do it? Why run something? Small businesses, I think the failure rate is stupendous. Mm-hmm. How many small businesses do not make it, that go out of business? But even more, I think one of the stats that aren't really shared is just because a small business is in business doesn't mean they're profitable.
Nope.
Right? And I'm pretty sure you know what I'm saying, right? There's a lot of businesses, just because they're out of business doesn't mean they're not struggling to pay their rent. They're not paying themselves. So why start a business? Why did you start your business knowing that it's going to be such a tough uphill battle?
That's a 2-part question. So number one, I would say that I had my day spa. It was wildly successful. Like, why would I leave that, right? Besides life things, why would I leave that? And I can honestly say that when I came down here, it's about an hour and a half away. And I was actually commuting to still own my spa for a while, Mm-hmm. And then I decided to sell it to someone who was local because it was just a better fit, and I kind of wished it luck and gave it to someone else who was living up there. So that was neat. But to be honest, I actually called my colleagues and said, this is going to be hard. I got to reinvent myself. I've got to, get back out there. And they said, the other option is I go work at Intel. We're close to Intel. We're close to, we got a bunch of stuff coming up. I mean, I used to work in the corporate world. Do I go back to corporate? And every single one of them said, if you do not continue doing the beauty, the skincare spot, we will find you at whatever corporate cubicle you are in and pull you by the ear and put you back into this industry. And they were right. I couldn't see it in myself at the time because I was very fearful that I wouldn't be able to do it. And I think for some people, it's a blessing and a curse to be an entrepreneur. I think that some people feel like it's, the grass is greener if you're an entrepreneur and you can run your own show. So it is not for everybody.
You know what? It sounds beautiful, right? Ooh, I get to my own hours. Ooh, I don't report to nobody, right? So let me ask you a question. And you started this, which is I just love the trail that you're leading us on. Is why is it entrepreneurs, business owners, we doubt ourselves so much? Like, for example, you're questioning your ability, your skills. Should I do this? And so many times, like, your friends are the ones that are basically bullying you, saying, no, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Right? So why is that? Why do you feel that we have that self-doubt? And how valuable are those kind of friends, that kind of a network that are able to see more of your ability than sometimes we're able to see within ourselves?
Yeah. I think for me at the time, it was stability. Do you gamble and start a new thing over again, right? Which I'd done before. So it wasn't like I doubted whether or not I could do it. I doubted whether or not it was the smart, responsible thing to do. Like, I should go work for Intel and get a 401k and have stability and 9-to-5 job. And I would talk about the pros and cons, right? And the side of staying on the stable route was surely consistent and stable, and I would be able to have all these things that I could rely on. But those that know me well knew that wasn't me. No. That, I really was someone who was creative and a trailblazer, and somebody who, if I put the lid on that spirit and sat myself in a cubicle again, that wasn't Shannon, And so I think that some people feel like that's a bad thing to have stability. And honestly, I think it's a noble thing to say, you know what, I'm going to go back and have that solid paycheck because I have kids to feed.
Yeah.
It's a really, really stressful decision the older you get, right? You're in your 20s. You're like, I can live on ramen, I can live on ramen.
Yes.
Like, if I don't make it, whatever. But I really think that the older you get, when you have little mouths to feed, you really question whether or not you should take the chances. And, I don't know that I ever doubted myself, because let me tell you, doing what we do, it's hard freaking work. And this is not, you roll in at 10, you check your messages, you might have a few facials, and then you're going to have lunch, and you're going to go have coffee with a girlfriend, and you're going to make 6 figures.
You mean it's not like social media where, I'm at my salon, 2 pics here. I'm just here chilling with my latte and not worrying about nothing. And this is my life.
No,
it's not that glamorous life.
No, number one, they're filtering that stuff. Number 2, phone ain't ringing behind them, or they'd be answering it.
Yeah.
They might have ants in the bathroom. They might have drips in the faucet. They might have an overdue phone bill. Like, that's the thing, is it's one thing to start a business and just start it and just like not watch it and cultivate it. And it's another thing to really like truly harvest like a farmer, right? The farmer is up at 5 a.m. The farmer is the first one up and the last one done. The farmer is nurturing every single plant out in the field, not just selfies in front of the field, right? Like,
like
really,
look at my crop.
right, here's my crops. Yeah, right. Like that farmer is dirty. That farmer is tired. That farmer is
Yes.
wondering. That farmer, and that's what owning a business is. If you are not ready to be the first one in your business and the last one to leave and the one that cleans it and the one that advertises it and the one that does all those things, go ahead and work for somebody else. Nothing wrong with that.
You're not ready. Right? It's
And
the commitment is
yes,
insane. Like especially like if you have employees or your clients, you lead by example, right?
yeah,
What you do, you're the one that's setting the tone. And if we don't do it ourselves, if like you said, if we're not the first ones in, the last ones out, that's what it takes in the beginning,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Even now, so the trail I was leading you down with this story is hard work and employees bailing on me. I mean, I kid you not, Wick, there was a time when I had a girl bail, some sort of boyfriend situation. I don't know. She bails. She's got a full book of appointments.
Yeah.
I literally was sugaring 20 Brazilians a day, 6 days a week.
Woo.
Because I'm the owner.
Yeah.
And because I had a responsibility to my clients, I had a responsibility to pay my rent, and I worked my fingers to the sweet bone, pun intended, because I had to make sure that I kept that clientele and then try to find somebody to fill her place and trying to find, and man, it is not for the faint of heart. You have got to have some thick skin, some good energy, and you got to be able to work hard to really overcome in those days. And now I have a business. Wick, I remember praying. I remember putting on my my goal, my goal sheet for the next year. I remember I just want to make $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
I just want to get to $5,000 a month. And that felt like this lofty goal. And now, I mean, $5,000 a month, that's it. Like we're making that in a week. Like it's crazy. And I think to myself, like now in this 2020 time, as the second we opened back up, Wick, our books were filled. I took the signs off the windows and the doors because I did not want state board coming around like my place. I wanted no part of the politics. I wanted none of that. And I got to tell you, we are turning away clients. I don't advertise. You'll barely see my brick and mortar on social media. These people, they're dropping their drawers at Christmas parties going, look, I just got sugared. Oh my God, you need to try it. And I have 5 more clients that I don't have the space for. Dude, yeah. It's the craziest. So literally this thing that I just kind of tried out at a happy hour, what did I say, 11 years ago? This thing that I just paid $1,000 to go to this class and went like this, turned into this like amazing space because I just kept harvesting. I just kept in the fields. I nurtured every single plant with my own hands, every single fruit, every single leaf. I watered it, I tended to it. And that is why now, fast forward, they always say, don't judge your today on someone else's 15 years of work. This has been a long time to get to this place that I'm at. And yep. My place is almost recession proof, to be really genuine with you, because of lemon, sugar, and water. Who would have thunk?
Bam! And there's always gonna be plenty of that. So you basically you are an 11-year overnight success.
Yes.
It took you 11 years
yes.
to become the overnight success
yes.
that you are, right? And that's awesome. I mean, I can just tell, and anybody watching this will be able to see how passionate you are. Like Shannon, I kid you not. As you're describing the fruit, you're so gentle with your hands right now, like you're seeing that fruit that what you've done. So that is awesome. In the beginning, what were some issues that you started facing or dealing with, like problems when you're starting the business? Because there's so many people within our audience, they're going to be solo estheticians. They're in that beginning stage, and there's all these pitfalls that you would think sometimes you would never even think of that this problem would happen or this could happen. Yeah. What were some issues that you ran into?
I think more than that, if I would suggest, I would give some advice, is I would slow down. So if you have not figured out yet, I'm kind of a fast-paced mover. Like, I get an idea, we run with it. Like we got new trees out in the next acre. But one of the things that looking back, if I was to give 11 years back Shannon advice,
absolutely,
I would say slow down, have a plan, have a savings. Like I literally I'd get an idea and I'd move forward and I'd move forward and I'd move forward. And I wish I would have slowed down a little bit and had a really like solid plan, like really got my books right, because it wasn't that I did it wrong. I just wish that I would have not tried to push everything through the funnel all at once. All these ideas had to be now.
Yeah.
And I think in the beginning, people that are solos, the other thing that I've noticed in some of my students is they try to do all the things, right? Facials, lashes, teeth whitening, gems on the teeth, wow.
Yes.
I mean, my God, like they go to a trade show, which you can't do anymore, but you go to a trade show and it's like bells, whistles, I must have that machine. And then
like butterflies everywhere. There's like butterflies. You're just following these butterflies because
you're like, oh, shiny object, I must have it. Let's finance it, And I think honestly, my advice would be to just really ask yourself, what is it that people need and want and are willing to consistently do? So what I love about Sugar is these people do not think twice. They book every 4 weeks with me, right? And I can always add a little something on. I can always build that ticket, but I want to get that thing that they need, that they know they get from their sugar mama. And I created that space, but there was a little while in the beginning where I was private label and I had facials and the latest peels and the latest this and the latest that. And it was like, whoa, Tiger.
Slow your roll.
Slow your roll and just decide on what you're going to be really good at, whether it's acne or sugaring or spray tanning or whatever it is, and be really good and known for that. You can always do the other things and add them on.
Absolutely. And you know what, that's so much wisdom right there. And believe me, I've been there where I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. And it's a discipline, right? To go to kind of hush those butterflies away, to maybe get those ideas, write them down. But it doesn't mean you have to do it right then and there. When you're focused on one thing, and I think that's just the perfect message. That's one of the best messages that I would recommend to somebody as well, is say, focus on one thing first that'll get people in the door. It doesn't mean you're not going to offer them all this other stuff. But if someone's doing facials, get facials, get them in. And then, next month, maybe push one thing really well. Still, you're doing all this stuff, but focus on one. Get really good at that niche. And because like you said, I see this all the time. I'm like, dang, that girl's doing facials. She's doing lashes, teeth whitening too. Like I can, it's like going into a mall. You're just sitting there, and I'm gonna get some gems in my teeth. It's like, let's one thing, girl. I'm getting confused. I'm getting lost in this hurricane of your services.
And then they don't know you for that thing. They don't know you as the go-to for that thing. Sure, I can give someone a great facial. I have amazing hands, but I want to be known for that thing that they need all the time.
Yes.
And it's really paid off. So I would say that slowing down, really asking yourself who you are. So here's something that, you may have picked up. I like to talk. Well, here's the problem. When you're in a facial, you should not talk. So when I was at my day spa in Lake Tahoe, ooh, man, I would do 8 facials in a row, not talking.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's possible. I don't see you.
And what I realized was what I love about hair removal is that I'm talking the whole time. I'm talking to them about their skin. I'm talking to them about their trip if they got sunscreen. I'm selling them while I'm sugaring their legs, and I'm sugaring their legs. I'm like, what's going on with your skin? You stressed, right? Well, I couldn't say that in facials. I had to, keep my lips quiet, and I had to talk about it after the fact, and that was hard for me. I realized you have to know your personality for sure. And I realized that I am not someone that can, and some people that are more introverted absolutely love the security of a quiet facial room all day long. They love that piece. It made me crazy.
Yeah, and to each their own, right?
For
And
sure.
but you realizing that what works well for you, because we all have our own personalities.
Oh
and
yeah.
and and I truly believe, Shannon, that like we were made to do something like your calling. Obviously, I mean, and we'll get into that a little bit more in terms of all the lives you've changed based on your teaching and introduction of sugary. Because to me, that's the gift that we have, right? Our gift is, it's not what I've done, because and I talk about this quite a bit, like mentoring people that have mentored me. It's like, I grew up just like you. When you're talking about uh, your kids wanting the Nintendo. You know, I remember, Shannon, when I was, again, this is like really young, like, because I was raised by a single mom. My sister and myself was single mom. She worked 3 jobs. Love my mama. Oh my God. This
Yeah.
is a time when, we didn't have babysitters. She would work all her jobs and tell us not to open the door if anybody knocked and all that, right? Just trying to
Yeah.
take care of us. And I remember one time, and it brings a tear in my eye, is, me being a little kid, I wanted things. I didn't understand what poverty was.
Yeah.
So we went to a flea market, and they had this remote control car, because my cousins, they got a remote control car, and I'd go to their house and play with it, and it was just cool. And this remote control car was like $20. And my mom, we did not have $20.
I know.
And because I was so stubborn as a kid, and I'm crying over there, my mom gave $20 for this car. And now I saw that, that $20 is like priceless. This woman that has nothing to try to take care of her family, her kids, she did this. So I understand. But growing up that way of not having money, I've had mentors that have pulled me up to show me what I was capable of,
Yeah.
to offer me an opportunity through their eyes, their vision, and to teach me this stuff. So to me, this is like so much of what this is about,
Yeah.
is about the mentoring that you've supplied, and the people and lives that you've changed, right? So like with your business, what's the most satisfying part of your business? What makes you and keeps you getting up, even though it's been a long day, it's been a tiring day, whatever?
Yeah. You know, it's interesting that you talk about mentors, because someone asked me the other day who mine was or is, and I think I became one because I never had one. Um, in life, my mentor in life was my dad, and he passed.
Mhm.
And I thought my world was over. My guiding light, was gone. And I really wish in my beauty business that I had a mentor. I really wish that I had someone that could have kind of made this a little bit of a shorter journey to success, because I
Yeah.
had to kind of make it up as I went along, so to speak, in the beginning, and 19 years ago.
And that's one of the hardest ways to go, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's where
Yeah.
a lot of people that now don't have mentors, or for whatever reason don't believe in mentors, or haven't looked into one.
Yeah.
They try to do the journey themselves, and it's a tough journey. It's a tough climb to figure out all the rights and wrongs by yourself.
Yeah. And if someone else has gone before you and blaze the trail, let them share with
Follow.
you, like, hey, here's, you might do it a little bit different, put your own spin on it. That's all good. But you have to at least have somebody that can guide you,
Yeah.
in how to do right, and in what works and what doesn't work, and kind of spare you some time. Right. So what I didn't have a mentor, and I remember thinking it's why I started iSugar University, was because I didn't want anyone else to go through what I went through. Was the girl that I trained with moved to Quebec.
Hmm.
So I didn't have anyone to go, how did you do that again? There were no videos, there was no guidance. And what's kind of cool is now other companies are starting to put together online courses that are similar to mine. And I think
Right.
it's wildly cool, because like now we're getting that we need to help these folks, right? And I can honestly say my motivation for doing it is I wish I had that back in the day. So I want to be that mentor, that person for someone else that I didn't get.
Yeah.
I wish I had a Shannon back in the day, And I say that very humbly, because I've been through a lot. I've done a lot. I'd love to spare someone a lot of time to not have to take as long as I did to get to where I went, And I don't know everything, sales and marketing and all that. I just sugar people and they come,
Like,
I don't have
yeah,
a formula for that, which is why I go to people like you. But I can honestly say that I do it because I know how to. And so I feel like it's my responsibility to now pay it forward.
yeah.
And that sounds maybe a little cliche, but honestly, I know how to do this. I know how to do it really good. I know how to spare you from really, really sucking at it. So why don't we spend some time together and I can help you get to the place you need to get, and we can have a laugh and we can have some fun along the way. And that's what's been so rewarding for me. I get students are like, I don't know how to thank you. I'm like, you are showing me the gratitude by succeeding.
Yeah.
And that's the true thing. Like watching, I have people that had no idea how to sugar and are now not only killing it in their sugar business, but they're branching off to start other ancillary businesses that have to do with sugar, like supply companies or other sugar companies. We've taken, sugar from other countries and introduced them to the US because that's what it's all about, right? And I think that, if you have such pure good intention,
Yes.
that is why we do it. Like I get up in the morning thinking like, how can I solve this one girl's issue? Well, what if she did this, right? Is just who I am. So I don't know. It's kind of a big question,
No. And
like
that's
life's
perfect.
question, right?
Well, that's what we're here to ponder, right? But the part, so here, let me ask you a question, and this is really goes into mentoring because I am such a big fan. Mentoring, I cannot thank my mentors enough. I live a life now, a life of my dreams, because somebody was generous enough to take me out of poverty and show me a path.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the power of knowledge. So let me ask you, let's just say there's two people. There's gal number one, and she's just finished at esthetician school, and she's learning this sugaring stuff all by herself, kind of sorta. She's trying to figure out a lot of this stuff herself, right? Which to me, I see a lot of estheticians doing this is they go to school, they take the course, then they go, cool, I'm going to be a solo esthete. They're going to start from their house, or they're going to open up a salon. They make it all cute. That's gal number one. Gal number two goes to someone like yourself.
Yep.
Who's seen the highs, seen the lows, and all this stuff. Obviously, the person that's following you as a mentor and working with you, that person has a higher chance of success, right? Can we agree upon that?
For sure.
Cool. So to put into perspective, because to me, money matters. When you're in business, you're there for a reason. Of course, it's for the clients, it's this and that, but you're there to build a lifestyle for yourself, take care of your family, your loved ones.
Yep.
What roughly rough guesstimate, what is the income difference monthly between this person that's doing it all by herself, trying to figure it out by herself, and this person that is working with a mentor? Conservatively, based on your experience, what do you think this person their income would be better? What's the difference?
Well, I think that the person that doesn't have a plan with a mentor and doesn't just skip all the unnecessary steps is going to be all over the place, is going to be there maybe 5-6 days a week, a little bit here, a little bit there. Maybe they have appointments. Maybe they're, it's just kind of a mishmash. That person is bringing in a few clients a day on all these different days, right? Whenever they can get their business. Oh, right. You can only come in a Saturday? No problem. I'll come back in. You can only come in at 7:00. Okay, I'll come in tonight. The person that follows a plan, the person that works with a mentor, that person is able to work smarter, not harder. They condense their time down and they're working smarter in those days. And now they're making more money in 1 or 2 days. And then they start a third day, and then they open a fourth day, and they really plan out their actions. And it's reliable money now. It's not this kind of wherever we can get it, right? That's that kind of fragmented business style. It's reliable money. It's a foundation of I can do this many appointments. I've got this many bodies. They're going to come again in 4 weeks. Now I can kind of forecast the amount of money that I'm going to bring in, right? If it's all over the place and you don't know when they're coming back and there's all different days and whatever, you're going to be riding that hamster wheel forever, and you probably will fall off of it, to be honest.
So what words would you describe that person that has all like for example, if someone, and I'm watching and listening to you describe that, I'm seeing this person is struggling, this person is frustrated. What are some words you would describe that kind of a business where it's just fragmented all over the place, almost like desperate, like I'll do this. It's like, I'll do this. When do you want me to show up? It's not like they're in control of their business.
Yeah. It's very fragmented. It's very frantic, and it's very unorganized. And so with unorganization, with the inability to organize your day and really have a plan, it's never going to be tight unless you get a solid plan and a solid skill that you can build upon, right? So you can't build the empire up if the foundation isn't solid.
Absolutely.
There's going to be holes and stuff's going to fall through. And, if you have clients that, I don't sweat it if a client no shows. I have a policy. I know they're coming back. They need me. They need me to do what I need to do for them. They need to be smooth. They need me. They don't cancel. The person who's all over the place and fragmented and disjointed, that person not going to have a solid cancellation policy. So they're going to lose money. It's just, it's a foundation that is not solid. And so it will crumble. And so the foundation of somebody who's really done the time in a shorter period of time will be able to have that solid foundation, and then they can build. They can add more services. They can add product, whatever it is. You got to have the solid foundation. And that's what working with a mentor will do.
So these two girls, we're going to call the one that's all over the place, we're going to call her Salty, right?
Salty.
And the one that's organized, she's Sweetie.
Yes, Sweetie.
Are you with me, Sugar Mama?
I got you.
So Salty's all over the place. Mm-hmm. She's trying to figure it out by herself. She's looking at YouTube videos and how to do this and how to do that. Again, which is fine. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I don't know if that's a way to run a business, as opposed to Sweetie, who's organized, on point. 1 year goes by in their businesses. Roughly, based on your experience, how much has Salty made in 1 year versus Sweetie?
Salty makes a couple grand a month. She's got to get a side job because she can't count on it. And this becomes a part-time thing for Salty. So
annual, roughly, how much is she making a year? We're talking about, let's just say 2 grand, 3. I don't know. Are we talking 24,000 a year? So Salty's making 25K a year. And what about Sweetie? How's Sweetie?
We haven't talked about net. I mean,
that's a whole nother conversation when Uncle Sam gets in the mix.
Game right there. We got to have, we have another call for that one.
That's when I'll have the wine.
Right. Like, hey.
So Sweetie.
Sweetie is 6 figures, no problem.
No problemo.
Nope.
This isn't like pray for 6 figures. Nope. This isn't like maybe if she finds 24 leaf clovers and follows rainbows. This is if she follows this proven path that you can lay out for her, because you've seen it done, and you've seen it done not once, not twice, but repeatedly. Yeah. Like the sun goes down, the sun comes back up. That's just how stuff works.
Sweetie is in a position after a year that she's wondering if she should expand because she's got so many people interested in sugaring.
Yeah. So Sweetie is in a position of options, of expanding, of hiring people, of maybe, getting a couple more people working, maybe a second location. Salty is looking for a second job
because she needs for a side job.
Yeah, yes. She's right. And you know what?
She's wanting to share rent because it's too expensive.
and this is real, right? This isn't, I don't know about Sweetie and Salty if they're the real names of people, but unfortunately, right, it's true. I'm in the comics, I'm the contents and all these forums, and people are like, hey, what kind of a side job can I get? And again, I understand COVID's tough, right? No one could have anticipated this problem or this issue, but there's some people even in COVID that are not, it didn't take the rug out from under their feet, right? So
We're dialed.
it's possible,
My
right? So
clients
here,
were saying, Shannon, I will come to your house when we were in lockdown.
yeah,
I will come to your house. What will it take? Can I help you clean your office? Wink, wink. Because I got to get in. They weren't saying that about facials.
and you know what? At the same time, Shannon, it's a lot of it is the appreciation. You know what? When you as a business owner have options,
Yeah.
where you appreciate your clients, but you don't depend on them, because, like you said, I think that's one of the best things I've heard in a while. They need you.
Yeah.
Right, and it's I don't sense the desperation in your voice, where it's like, what do I got to do? It's like that's when the used car sales esthetician comes. What do I got to do to get you in this chair? What do I got?
Right.
What do I got to do to get you this? What?
Yeah.
Come on, 20% off.
Check out my social media. There's not a whole lot on there that we've posted lately.
No.
I don't have to. Honestly, I can't take anybody else right now. That's a great. Okay, so let me tell you. Who wouldn't
want to be in that position? Who wouldn't want to be in that kind of position? Right?
But Wick, I've got to pinch myself, because honestly, this girl sitting before you today was the same girl that walked into her accountant after the first year with tears in her eyes. This girl, and said, I have nothing. I don't even have really anything to give you for taxes, because I have nothing, and I need you to help me not be like this anymore. Tears in my eyes, no joke. 10 years ago, and my spa was a success. Everything was great. But when that recession hit, I used all my savings up, the sale of the business, everything, to keep myself, to pay for myself. Right?
So
because I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a mentor.
How did that even feel? How did that even feel? Like, what was going on inside of you, going to somebody rock bottom? I have nothing. Like, how did that make you feel as a person?
Oh, I'm speechless. Like, Wick, I walked into the welfare office 11 years ago, not knowing how I was going to make this all work.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. The SugarMama walked into the welfare office, and 10 years later, 11 years later, I'm mentoring people and making six figures. And I've got people that work for me. And again, let's talk about the crop. I literally was holding a seed in my hand, looking at a bunch of land, going, how do I do this? And it took getting up in the morning, dropping the kids off at school, working my tail off until it was time to pick them up from school again.
Yeah.
And taking notes and learning and listening and really understanding that the harder I worked and the more I created that need, and then I would sow a few more, and then I'd get a few more seeds, and I'd pack it down and I'd water it. And I went from welfare office to SugarMama little empire by hard work. Not because somebody gave it to me, not because, of any other thing than hard work and a whole lot of smiling and a whole lot of love and a whole lot of laughter. When you come to my place, we're singing karaoke while I sugar you, man. Like we're not taking this so crazy serious. Like, people come into my shop and they're like, oh, SugarMama, and legs are in the air, and they're just like so happy to finally be there. I'm like, let me rip hair out of your hoo-ha. It'll fix all things, right? But that's what you have to do, is you have to create this environment of like fun and love. Now, if you're doing facials, you create it in a space where you just like love up on these people, and they have got to have you again.
Yes.
right? But in the beginning, when it was just a seed, and I was sitting in that welfare office, and I could not believe that the recession had brought me to this place. And Wick, we are in an even worse situation 10 years later, exactly 10 years later. And I'm not worried. I'm not worried, Wick, because I have a solid foundation of clients that would not dream of taking this out of their budget. Wouldn't dream of it. You know why? Because they want some SugarMama love. They want to be smooth. They love their half an hour with me. And some of them, it's like the best half hour of their whole week.
You know what? The world, Shannon, is a tough place that we're in. And there's so much like horror and pain.
Yeah.
And when I talk to you, like even like me right now, I'm imagining being in your office, and you're like a vacation. You're like a mini 30-minute, an
Having
hour.
hair ripped out of your back, Wick.
Yeah. That part doesn't sound fun, but you make it sound fun. You're like, I can't wait to get shit, right?
That's right.
That's what it's about. So this is the next question that I have for you. Obviously, you, like you mentioned several times, you are a bold woman.
Mm.
You don't sound very shy to me. We're having these conversations. You know, you're comfortable seeing yourself, the way you sound, the way you talk. You know,
I'm like, end of the day.
Like,
my cheeks are pink.
somehow, some way, but it's like, you know what, we can laugh at. To me, one of the biggest problems that, and why a lot of these estheticians are not doing as well as they could, is like, I'll go on their social media page, and they'll have pictures of before and after of the work that they do. They'll have images of their studio, but they don't have enough video of themselves talking about who they are, their product, what they do, and you know, basically, and this is like, to me, sales 101, because my formula for success, and I have literally pulled in just stupid contracts with the government with just this three thing is: people have to know you, they have to like you, they have to trust you. And now, in the old days, you know, the social media wasn't at that point where you can really go out there and do this. Now with like Facebook and IG and all these things, but I don't see a lot of people doing that. I'll see them put 20% off here and this, and I tell them again and again, this is my thing, saying you have to be able to sell yourself. Let people like you, like, I'm excited, like, just listening to you talk about sugaring. It's like, holy shoot, right? And to me, that's you are like the epitome of a business owner, how they need to be talking about what they do, so people are excited to get the hair ripped out of their hoo-ha.
Right? They can hardly wait.
I can't wait. I'm like, tell what? Maybe we got to pull some. We
got to get some SugarMama. Come on. You know, I don't discount. There is not 20% off. There's no freaked out sale. I mean, we don't even talk about it. We run the credit card. We're on our way. We don't even talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't matter what it costs to them. It literally does not matter, because
so why don't they do it? So like, why do these other people, why do you feel, again, and I know one of the reasons, because I'm a victim for it as well, is, you know, I am conscious of how I look or how I sound, and I'm barely getting over that stuff. Like I just did a post because I should have been doing these kind of videos and interviews with wonderful women like yourself like 20 years ago.
That's right.
But it took me a while to kind of say, enough is enough. I got to do it. Otherwise, I'm not going to get to this level. Right. So how can we get more gals, more business owners to be business women? And a part of being a business woman is pitching your product. You have to talk about what you do, but more importantly, not just talk about it. And this is what I think you are just a master at, is get people excited about, because that's what sales are. This is an old definition I heard. Sales is a transfer of energy from you to the client, right? I never, SugarMama, I'll tell you this. I have never in my life, one, been sugared. Two, been so excited to be sugared. No BS, right? I'm like, But that's it. Like within
But
this
but in
call,
this conversation, Wick, you've never said, could you give me a discount? Like, is it 20% off? Is it
it
no?
doesn't matter.
Because it's not
No,
about being 20% off. It's about coming in and getting this experience and getting this love and
I don't
feeling
even know the
good and
cost.
getting your
The
swagger
only thing
back.
I
Like,
want, I don't even know the cost. The only thing the only thing I'm into is like, okay, cool. This sounds like fun. This is a vacation. She is just amazing, and she's gonna. But at the same time, my own benefits. I'm gonna be able. She's gonna be able to get the hair off with less pain, right? So my logic's still there. I don't like the pain. That doesn't float my boat. But
yeah.
at the same time, you weave in the excitement, but I
Yeah.
have that you tell me that other stuff I want to hear as well, right? So how can we get more gals to push their business forward by using what you masterfully can do and are doing?
I think honestly, you got to get your technique down first before you can spin the like super funny personality, right? Like I sucked, I told you in the beginning. I was not all this. Like I was terrible with this ball. So I had to get really good at what I did so that I
Yeah.
could have that, I couldn't just be like, oh, I took a weekend class. Now I'm going to be the best at it, right? Like you have to honor the fact that you're just going to not be the best for a little bit. Practice on your models, thank them for, hurting them in the beginning. And I think you need to really get truly genuinely good at what you're doing. You can't just like, be into peels and just slap stuff on and like not have an idea of the pH level of the skin or anything like that. You really do have to take a course that's going to walk you through theory, that's going to help you to understand why you're doing what you do so that you can then explain it to your clients. So I have, on a side note, I have a carrot in my office and I have a carrot in my room because I explain to people with this carrot what hair removal is all about, right? So I'm really good now at explaining why I'm doing what I'm doing to you. And you go, oh, that makes sense. And you'll remember the carrot, right? I'm really good at removing the hair, which is like a carrot, right? I'm really good at doing it. So now this confidence is because I get it and I can do it. I didn't just take a YouTube class in an hour and go, oh yeah, I can sugar. I'm adding to my menu. Everybody's sugaring, right? Get it down to where you're doing it really, really well. And then the confidence and the hoo-ha talk and you've got this, let's get your swagger back, like all that is because I know I'm really good at doing it now.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can't have confidence on something that you're like just learned on YouTube, right? Like there's some work that has to go into the harvesting, right?
Yeah,
So
being good at that, and then also like letting your natural personality shine.
for sure.
I right to me, like for example, when your business, right, I think of you first, and
Yep.
then I think of, okay, she also does sugaring and stuff like that. People think of SugarMama first, right? And because you're being you.
Yeah, I'll tell you, their husbands and partners say, "Hey, isn't it time you saw the SugarMama?" They're thinking of me first. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I see, and that's but that's just how it is.
But
Right?
that's what I've
It's like,
created, right? I mean, remember, I moved here. I knew no one. I didn't really know how to sugar, and then I got good at it. And then I practiced and then I met more people. And next thing you know, I'm like, let me sugar your eyebrows. Come on, come try it. And then I did their eyebrows. So I'm like, oh, well, can you do my lip? What about these whiskers? Like, can you do this? Right. And it just turned into this thing. And then they were telling their friends and telling their friends and telling their friends, right? You actually, in a conversation at your next dinner party, would be like, I met this sugar mom girl. Have you guys ever been sugared? Because it's now a topic of conversation, right? So it's creating this like fun and need. And I'm going to address the people in your audience, Wick, that are not big, bold personalities like mine, right? Because I make it sound really easy. And I'm sure a lot of introverts that are like, oh, God.
absolutely.
That's not what I can do, right? But I think if let's address the introverts. I think if you're an introvert and it's kind of hard for you to be like the sugar mama, right? I think you need to find that place where you can really love on your people and it's all about that foundation again.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're really good at what you do and create that foundation, you don't have to necessarily be the crazy sugar mama that's like, singing karaoke with her peeps, right? You can have your own brand, your own softness, your own peacefulness, and still do what you do. But it's about being really good at what you do and providing that and getting that foundation right. So I hope that I haven't scared people off because I'm so bold. Well, I've got to be bold to sugar. You really don't. There is definitely a soft side to this too, where you can talk about how like it's antibacterial, antimicrobial, like lemon and sugar. Sugar is actually a natural preservative. You don't need preservatives and parabens and all that. It's just sugar. Lemon is antibacterial, so it's really important to keep the skin clean. So you can have a very soft personality and really guide your people through like natural, organic, clean, sanitary. And people go, oh, I really want that, right? You still really want that. Look at you. You're like totally buying everything I'm telling you. Right. So there is a way to do it that way too. You don't have to like be out on stage talking about sugar.
No.
Yeah,
I'm with
you can
definitely own your
definitely
personality, right?
right.
It's like
right.
there's enough clients out there that
For
you will
sure.
attract the right people that are right for your business. And
For sure.
like, for example, if you're bold, that doesn't mean everybody has, each person be you.
Right.
Be you, be genuine, but be good at your trade.
Yeah, get really, really good at it and be better than everybody else. That's what I did.
So what's next level for you? Where's SugarMama's next adventure? Inquiring minds want to know. I want to know.
Well, right now, I am slowing back because I've been doing a lot of innovation. So I'm slowing back on the like innovation drive, and I'm really working on the grassroots effort. So in 2021, we launched the Sugar Network, and just about 3 weeks ago. And my mission is to get everyone to understand what sugaring is, the public and estheticians, is to get estheticians working together because it's all about collaboration. There's plenty of eyebrows and hoo-has to go around, right? And really getting estheticians to say, oh, I've got a girl for you in LA. I've got a girl for you in Poughkeepsie. Oh, you're moving to St. Louis? No problem. I've got people there. You look up on the Sugar Network. Oh, Susie Jones, she's on Main Street, right? She uses the same products I do. So the goal then is to really get estheticians and the sugar pros working together to be stronger and sweeter to each other and to the customers. And then to really, the next move is to get the public to know what sugaring is, because it's shocking to me how many people don't even know what it is. And to really get them to start asking, to get your wife to go, oh yeah, I get sugared. And her now 5 friends are like, oh, I got to get sugared. And her 3 friends are like, I'm going to get sugared. I don't mind who you get sugared from. I just want to make sure you get sugared. So that is what 2021 is going to be for us, is really taking our esthetician group, our community, and really like getting them to work together to take this to the next level. And really our competition is wax. It's not each other.
Yeah. So here, you touched on a very important point. How important is word of mouth and referrals? Because like you said, that word, how so?
1,000%. Because if I tell you, look at you and I talking about this right now, right? You might not necessarily scroll through and be compelled to want to get sugared by me, right?
I do, but continue.
But if I'm at a party, right? Or now, Wick, you have had a great conversation with me. Say you live in my town. You and I have met at a Christmas party and we're just having a blast. I meet your wife. We're talking about sugar. Oh, SugarMama, this is great. Da da da. Right? You're gonna try it.
I feel it.
Your wife's gonna try it, and once you try it, you're gonna tell your 3 friends, and she's gonna tell her friends, and now I've got 6 new clients, and all I did was sugar you or talk to you at a party. And then I take those 6 people, and they say, then I say, you know what? I would really love it if at the next party that you're at, if you'll tell people about sugar, that'd be awesome, because I'd really love to build my local business. And people love that. They love supporting the local thing, And so, I think that the more genuine you get and you ask for people to, help a girl out, and hey, I would really love it. I'm really trying to build this business. And if you could just tell, couple of your friends, show them your beautiful eyebrows. I really love that. People love doing that. They love being in the know. They love saying they know the sugar mama. Oh, good sugar mama. She'll hook you up.
See, and that's, I think that I feel that's part of your brand. It's like you're making this cool club where,
Yeah.
I think, when you're mentioning even the referrals, like the people are like, oh, I know the sugar mama. It's like you're like celebrity status there, sugar mama. I'm feeling you, right?
You
So
know
here,
what, Wick, is really cool is I would like to say that I started out that way, that a lot of people were like, oh, you got to go see the sugar mama, right? And it's the coolest part about all of this is I will now be in my shop, and I have other estheticians that sugar there now, and nails or hair. I will walk through my shop on any day, and there are some days where I don't know any of the people in there. They've come for our services. They're not coming for me anymore specifically.
oh,
And that's like next level success, right? That's like I've created this space and this energy where my girls are doing that too. And they're coming in to be sugared by a good place instead of just having me. And that's really neat. And that's really what I want to do is I want to do that with our sugar network. I want them to be so good at it that people seek them out. Like I'm good. I sugar all the people I can get my hands on, right? But I can't sugar everyone. So if I can help create this army of people in the US and beyond, Canada is next. If I can help create this and help the sugar companies have people to work with, and help the gurus to have people to teach marketing and sales to, and teach internet and teach socials, like if I can lift this community up, then I've done my job.
yeah. And you know what? There's so much to go around, and to
Yeah.
me, like I'm with you, where we are not in a competitive thing where I only go up by taking from you, or some people have that mindset. There's only a certain number of clients. It's like, are you kidding me? Do you know how many people are in this world? There is so much, but you and I believe we're like kindred souls, where we believe in abundance. There's enough for everybody.
Yeah.
There is no lack. So if you have the opportunity to get a message across to a large group of young, beauty business owners,
Yep.
what would you say? What would be the message that you would say? Here you go, world.
Oh, a few different things. Number one, I will say in this time in November, we're going into the dark winter, they're calling it, for 2020. I will tell you, hang tight, because we're going to come out the other side of this. And as long as you put a good network of professionals together to support you, we got this, we got this together. I would say if you're an esthetician and you're kind of wondering what hair removal you want to do, I would say sugaring changed my life. And to be honest, my clients would not be pleased with me if I stopped sugaring. That says a lot. It really says a lot. And then number three, I would just say, seek out a mentor. Don't be quiet and shy. Seek out a mentor that fits in whatever it is that you feel like you're not the best at. If you need customer service skills, or you need sugaring skills, or sales and marketing skills, seek out someone. I didn't have that. So seek out someone who can really guide you and help you not take quite as long to get to the other side. And I would also say to be gentle with yourself. This is new for some people. This is old hat for others. This is scary for some. And I would say, if I can do it, if I can sit in that welfare office with that one little seed I had left. I never actually got welfare, by the way. They wouldn't give it to me because they said I made too much money. And I was like, what? But anyway, I never actually received welfare. But I actually was sitting in the office, tears in my eyes, like, I got this. But I would say that you got this. And I would say that, there's many of us who have been in the same shoes. And if I do nothing today but inspire you that it is possible, then, then my job is done. So thanks for having me on this.
No, I'm blown away. It's like, just like you, it's been a long day for me. Towards the end of the years, I'm just so slammed with business, and it's a Friday. Yep. And I was tired, and I just had all these boxes and packages I had to ship out today. And then I checked my calendar. I'm like, do I have anything today? And I looked at one. I'm like, oh. You know, but I cannot tell you, the more times I show up to opportunities like this,
Yeah.
every single time I'm just blown away. And the knowledge that you shared, Shannon, I literally just feel like I've known you forever.
Right.
And to me, I think that's part of your charm. That's your magic. That's your personality, where you have this spell that you put on people just by being your awesome self, and making someone like myself feel really comfortable and saying, you know what? Oh my God, Wick, if you would have canceled on her, you would have missed out on so much.
Yeah.
Right. And so thank you for just helping and being generous with your time and your information.
I got you, Wick. We're gonna hang out.
Yeah,
I
you
feel
do.
it.
I'm sugaring. I'm telling you. I'm
Come
gonna figure out
on.
next time. Yeah, my pops lives in Sacramento. So I've
Come
been
on.
meaning to visit him in a while, and I have tons of family out there in like Roseville and the
Yeah.
Granite Bay area and all that good stuff.
Come on.
All right. Well, thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
this.
I'm gonna go feed
I'll
my
get it.
teenagers.
Yeah,
They're
ditto. I
now
need to go
big
too.
boys. Those little boys are now very big boys. They're taller than me
Yeah.
now. And I have
And
I have an adopted son. I have two stepdaughters now, so and a
oh,
grandchild. So I'm a busy mama at Christmas.
no, and congratulations. I mean, you know, when I see people like yourself with the success that you achieved, but at the same time, just so generous, right? You've worked hard. You've worked hard, and you deserve every ounce of success and then some, right?
Thank
So,
you.
so if I had a hat, I would take it off. But
I like seeing your shiny head. All
yeah.
right, go watch movies with your kids, man.
All right, you take care, Sugar Mama.
All
Thank you.
right. Hi to your wife. Bye.
Bye bye.